Okay, good morning, everybody, for Sunday, the 9th of July. Low pressure continues to dominate July's weather, with another system out of the Atlantic starting to chuck fronts at us, and certainly will be yet another unsettled week, with plenty of breeze and showers at times. What have we got for today? Well, that cold front that you probably plagued us for a lot of yesterday and last night is starting to move off into the North Sea, leaving behind it still very unsettled air with a trough which is going to be coming across the country today. Though if I'm honest, the exact timing of that trough isn't always that important because there's just showers everywhere currently. As we look at the winds at height, we are still running with a southwesterly element and looking at that around 15 to 20 knots. Satellite picture over the UK reveals a sort of mixed start. This area of clouds, you can see that front starting to move out to the east, but it's taking some time and there has been some rain even in the last half an hour or so at Lasham. And with that trough line going through, it could sort of be on and off all morning. You can see the next trough line just sort of sat out over the coast, out to the west. But yeah, showers are pretty much anywhere. And we can see that as we look at rain alarm, which gives us a really good indicator of what's going on currently, with shower activity over us currently and more shower activity as it seems out to the west, with mixed amounts. No massive thunderstorms, but enough to be annoying, I would say, as we go through. Public forecast shows that shower risk sort of on and off, maybe drying out a bit more this afternoon, with a top temperature today of 20 degrees, with southwesterly winds reaching around 13 to 15 knots on the ground. Good visibility after this morning. The temperature profile on GFS is very similar, maybe a degree higher or so. And as we look at dew points, sort of sat around 11. Currently at Lasham, we have a temperature of 15, dew point of 12. And the picture outside is that. Farnborough are currently reporting a sort of no cloud detected, which is about right for what's going on. A few clouds at 4,000 feet as the headline TAF for today once this top cover clears and the shower risk depletes. That shower risk probably reducing after lunchtime. Heavy showers, though, prop 30 throughout the day. Okay, let's have a look at what sort of SEO has for us. And that is our potential flight distance for today, probably slightly reduced from what it was sort of earlier. Okay out to the west and maybe immediately to our north, but that closer you get to that front or trough, the worse it gets. 9 o'clock then, it is sort of showing the top cover within the model, but maybe not quite as extensive, so just bear that in mind. This shows as the top cover recedes, we should get blue to shallow Q under some of this sort of higher stuff, so maybe around 3,000 feet above sight. Already much better out to the west, with it near Devizes looking like 4,500 to 5,000 feet, and same up towards Aston Down and Fairford. As we go through the day, though, and it brightens up in the afternoon, this is probably around 1, 2 o'clock. We are looking at cloud base getting up to around 4,000 feet or so in the Lasham vicinity, and being reasonably good, sort of an aligned Lasham to perhaps sort of Northampton, a bit weaker to the east of that, but yeah, good up into the Midlands, but only for a limited period. Some more showers up towards Wales and the north, but yeah, cuts off from the west quite early on. This is around 3:30, but yeah, in our area at around 3 o'clock, getting up to around 4,500 feet above Lasham potentially. Further north, and we can see there at sort of Husbos around sort of 4 o'clock now, we are looking at about 5,000 foot cloud base, but yeah, very mixed, changeable, and the chance that this is possibly a little bit optimistic from the models and how well Top Meteo has behaved in the last a little while. And as you can see, as we get to around 5 o'clock, we start to see our area cut off from the south as the sea air comes in and spoils the day, but remaining good, at least up towards Didcot, maybe Oxfordshire region, and well into around 5, 6 o'clock. And yeah, it does seem that by 6:30, it will be unsawable at Lasham. Cloud amounts, and you can see that that top cover in the blue, or the light blue, starts to recede away eventually and leaves with it more chance of cumulus and proper cloud, with mixed amount of overdevelopment, more showers to the north and northwest. Your site forecast then for today is sort of moderate thermals this afternoon up to around 5,000 feet above sea level. This showing a top temperature of 23, which is unlikely. So knock a little bit off those thermal heights, maybe 4,000 feet above Lasham, probably being the top I would expect today. And that's a southwesterly wind, quite breezy. So not a bad day, but a day with some challenge. Airspace wise, just a few things initially. Silverstone, it is the British Grand Prix today, the actual race day. So yeah, 9th of July, and there is the standard restricted area temporary, as you can see there, which is valid all day, up to 2,500 feet or so. As you can see, a relatively extensive zone and a little bit difficult. So if you're going up in that region, make sure you are well aware of that. You also have from 1410 to 1455 a 6 nautical mile up to the base of controlled airspace and slightly higher, restricted area temporary for the red arrows, who will be displaying. They're based out of Bryce Norton today, so if you're anywhere between sort of Bryce and Silverstone, you will probably see them today, because they are going to be whizzing around. Old Warden 80Z is active all day. Delta 125 Lark Hill is active to 25,000 feet. That's just the north of Salisbury. Let's just look at the wider picture for airspace today. Lots and lots of paragliding NOTAMs. Around us, not particularly too much in the way of anything. But yeah, just bear in mind that there is a number of small events going on. Gliding competition at Husbos, gliding competition at Shennington as well. But Silverstone really is the main thing today. There are some fly pasts and some sort of small events going on up towards sort of Lincolnshire. But generally out to the west, northwest, looking fairly clear, but with that caveat that as you get towards Silverstone, you need to keep an eye on it. So yeah, do check your own NOTAMs and have a look to be 100% sure that your routing is clear of today's NOTAMs. Okay, operationally today, we are going to be runway 23 with this wind, so launching to the southwest. Also, going from next to the bus, going in this direction. Just mindful a few people are trying to swing around like that occasionally. That should not be happening. It's never been permitted at Lasham. So if we could try and avoid that, please. If you need a buggy to come and help you get your car, then you're very welcome. But I'm expecting most private owners probably to land in there if you're in the north side trailer park, unless we are quiet. Good. So runway 23 in use today. Bear in mind there's no NOTAMs and showers. We will see you out there. I think we've got a fair amount of capacity today, so if anybody does want to turn up on spec, then we will be able to fly you. And also we do have some aerobatics this evening. Again, we probably will be able to fly you if just contact me or the office for any details. See you out there. Bye for now.